pointing out MBOT breaking out of compression, MBOT, $3 stock, up today about 44% on MBOT. Good morning, Thomas. Good morning, Sean. YouTube had a little trouble getting the YouTube feed to go this morning. It's up and running now, though, so welcome to the feed. And, market been a nice little gap up this morning on the market, and pretty much just chopping around at this point. You can see the gap up, and we've been drifting higher, but candles are really, really small. SPY pulling back below the 15, triple Qs also pulling back below the 15. And the IWM made a nice move up. Now it's pulled back right to the 15. Again, we took our profits in RGTI this morning. A beautiful trade here. Get in here on the second for 15. We sold it today for 750. 45% profit. Really nice. I got a few questions here. Yomi, nice job. You're just going to say IWM has been a slow but nice index today. Yeah, it's been a little bit of relative strength here now. Had relative weakness earlier, relative strength now. It's kind of bouncing around, but yeah, nice one. You've got third entry on it with previous two yielding 50 cents each. Beautiful, very, very nice, Yomi. Very nice. Shai, you like the high volume support resistance lines? Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, they're actually, I don't know too many people use them, but they're really, really nice. You just, I have to go in and draw them and everything, but again, I use them a lot for resistance levels, for price targets. I mean, lots of ways to use them for support and resistance. They're very good. You see, Lockheed Mountain bounced right off of it. Carvana the same. Yep, bounced right off of it on Friday in Carvana. Lockheed Martin bounced right off of it here this morning, 470.36. You like those Shia like says the high volatility lines that I use, and this is what he's talking about. I use these are the lines I draw in the chart that I'm looking at high volume candles, and to see where there was the next one was right here, went right down to it and bounced this morning. Carvana on Friday went right down to it and bounced right off of it on Friday. Lockheed Martin today bounced off of it right there. Again, I have to draw these things, but they are pretty nice. And again, that's why I like NNE up here now. I kind of want to get it closer to that high volume candle, right? I have high volume set up right there, but they work pretty nicely. Yeah, they're a big help when taking trades, whether to take them or not take the trades, and where to take profits in the trade. Shai says that just those alone are worth the admission to the room. I appreciate that. Hopefully there's a I try to bring as much value as I can to the room. SPY Super System has been crushing it. Q's went red. Yeah, market's getting really, really choppy here. I'm not going to touch any SPY Super System trades right now. The momentum is really has really sagged quite a lot here. T2104 still holding up fairly bullish. It hasn't really shown any particular weakness right now. Anthony, I've been crushing it. We had a good month in December. We had a lot of SPY Super System trades were really, really strong. The trading in December wasn't great. There wasn't an awful lot of good opportunities in December. We made money. I mean, the room made some nice money, about 4,000, but still that's not great. But it was December's a tough month with all the holidays, and we had that Fed thing that dropped the market really hard. So all you can do is trade the best we can. We've had a decent month in December. November was really a crushing month, but we did really well. We'll see what happens. T2104 is bouncing up here pretty strong as the market comes in. So I'm being a little bit cautious here. Dimitri, new trial member, welcome to the room. You can't see any chat or questions in the GoToWebinar. No, I can see the questions, but if I let everybody put and you can see them in the YouTube, yes, but not in the room. The reason I do that is most rooms I've been in where they allow all of the comments to be posted, it's extremely distracting, and you start getting individual members going back and forth with each other about their ideas and their setups and everything. So I'm trying to keep this fairly clean, where I'll look at the questions and I'll answer the questions. If you have questions, I'll take care of them and I'll call them out into the room. But if I let everybody post out there, it's going to be hugely distracting for me, and B, I'm going to get all kinds of messages going out there, so I'm going to miss a bunch of questions, and also I don't really want the individual traders. Now you can go over in Discord and do it all you want over there, but I don't. It's just too distracting for me, and it's hard for me to focus if I've got a bunch of traders posting stuff in there, and not that that's going to necessarily be bad stuff, but there's a lot of traders that are new that are going to post trades that are terrible, and I don't want people following those. Most of them post really good trades, and we call those out, but that's the reason I do that. Mike, you've been in other chat rooms where people are just posting random stuff. Yeah, I know. I listen. I've been in a lot of chat rooms. I specifically did it like this so that we can. I can focus on the trading, focus on the strategies, focus on the questions that people have, answer them. I call them out. Anybody posts a trade out there that they like, I call it out and bring the chart up so we can talk about it. But you know, I've been in rooms and you just end up with some real garbage that goes out there, and then you start getting people disagreeing with each other and fighting over positions and stuff, and it's not conducive to having a room that's going to be making profits and training people. The Discord, I don't have the link to the Discord, Dimitri. Rory can get you that, or maybe one of the Discord folks will post it over here, and I can put it into your answer your question there. IWM bouncing right off of the 15. We do have still got yellow here. Needs to move to start to swing back up again to go back to green or blue. Netflix put debit spread now is running at about $6. Dimitri, yeah, this Dimitri is in the he's in the room, and he's also over there in YouTube. Hi, Dimitri. About 12:15 here right now. Market getting really choppy here. Okay, Dimitri, you left YouTube to come stay put over here because I was echoing over there. Yeah, I mean, listen, you'll get all the information you'll get here that I talk about in YouTube. So. Market showing some weakness here now. You notice the momentum has switched over to yellow on the SPYs. The Qs are red, and the IWM is just switched to yellow as well. IWM is holding up decently, but the other indexes are really weak right now. So I'm not going to touch anything. I'm not likely to take any shorts on the market right anytime soon. We'll see. I mean, if I get a breakdown, breakdown here on the SPY, so you can take the short here as it breaks down below the 15, and you get a yellow momentum indicator. But the thing is, you've got the VWAP right here, so that's that would be about as far down as it goes. And again, you're trading against the trend, so you've got to take that in consideration when you're trading to the short side on a day that the market's up. Now here you have the Qs, which broke through the 15, went right to the VWAP, and is sitting right on the VWAP right now. A breakdown below the VWAP here on the Qs would be a potential short. Not too much to say here. Market's pulling back after a nice little run up this morning on a gap up and then a kind of a drift up. Now we're just drifting down. Again, the Qs are right down, but just below the VWAP here right now. Momentum is red. Momentum is bearish. It is in a dynamic compression zone here, but there's potential short on this on the SPY. I'm on the Qs. Do I have any support on Netflix before the 50? Let me look. Yeah, I sort of. I got it at 864.22. I mean, it gets down that low. I'll be out with this because that's pretty far down. But 864.22 is the level I've got. Dimitri, sorry, newbie. Okay, is FI still recommended under those conditions? No. I would not be buying FI right now. I mean, I'm in FI. We get news that knocked the thing down. We're kind of in a trap in that thing. Not too much we can do about it. I added to it at the 50-day moving average. I want to see it get above the 50, which it's trying to do, but it hasn't. It's just below the 50 right now. But I wouldn't touch it right now. I sold off the RGTI calls, right? Mentioned it was a covered position. Well, I have a covered position on it, but that's not what we have in the room. I took some covered calls on part of my position, and I held calls the rest of it, and I sold those already. I didn't buy the stock and the calls simultaneously. What I did was I bought the calls, and then I sold calls against the calls. I don't use. This is not a covered position of using stock, but you can do covered. You can do what's called covered calls on a long call position, just like you can on stock position. Remember, calls give you the right to buy the stock at a certain price. So when I bought the RGTI calls that we had at I bought the $15 calls. Yeah, the $15 calls. Then I sold $20 calls against it to bring in premium. It's just like trade, just like having a stock position when you have a call position, except for the fact that it expires. But that's how I did that. So I'm still in those calls with a covered call at 20, and if I've got these things out to February 7th on the position I'm covered on. So if this stays below $20 this week, I'll keep the premium that I sold, and I'll decide whether to sell some more premium at a higher level. Yeah, Timmy, I don't know about the volume. I got the volume the best I can on my mic here. Most everybody hears it fine, but I don't think there's anything I can do to except yell at this microphone. I don't hear in the room. I never get any. I don't get complaints about volume, so I don't know whether it's a YouTube thing. Again, it's going to both places. Yeah, Dan says he hears me loud and clear. Thanks very much, Dan. But anyway, I appreciate everybody looking at the room here through the YouTube feed. Again, this is our SPY Super System radio. That's the compass system that we use for letting us know if the institutions are buying or selling or not doing much of anything. Right now, you can see we've gone to a momentum to the red side, which is bearish. Yellow's bearish, red's bearish. Green is bullish. We've been bullish all morning. You can see we were on the Qs. We were pretty much bullish right from the open, right here, and that stayed green all the way. It wasn't going far, but it was stayed green. Then we switched back here to yellow as we broke down below the 15. That's where we are right now. Again, we took profits in RGTI. Beautiful exit in that one. Netflix down to 874. Again, 864 is the next resistance level, the next support level. Q's trying to bounce. This has really turned into a pretty choppy day now here. Took a nice profit in NOC this morning, Northrop Grumman. If you look at Northrop Grumman this is my TC2000 chart now. This is Northrop Grumman. If you go back over here, you see where this is. This line right here. See that gap? That's a gap fill right there. That was an entrance to the gap fill. So it went into the gap fill. I took profits. It bounced right back up. It's still sitting right there in support. It's got to get below 458.93 to be into that gap. And if it gets into the gap, then you've got a little bit of room to the downside to around here, to around 446. IWM's coming down toward the 50. Toward the VWAP. Pretty weak. Ari, am I still in NOC? No, I took profits in NOC. I get in at 970. I get out at 1170. Again, it bounced right back up to that entrance to the gap. That gap fill entrance is going to be supported. It needs to close below there. I took it off pretty quickly when it flushed down, because it's not a confirmed breakdown into the gap. We need another candle to confirm that on the daily. At this point in time, if you start to do any more SPY super system trades, I'm not doing any right now, but if you do, I would switch to tomorrow's expirations, so you don't get time decay off on the any kind of compressions that we get. Q's below the VWAP right now. SPY pulling back a little bit too. And IWM as well. Very, very choppy here. I'm not really anxious to jump into anything at the moment. I'm just looking for some potential swing trades. The market, likely the SPY is 600, likely is going to be a resistance area on the SPY. So it's important for us to make sure we keep an eye on the indexes of the overall market to see where we're at. SPY today's got up to 599.70 and then pull back. Arista Networks, ANET breaking out here today. Not great volume though, but decent. ANET, very nice movement. ANET today, nice daily chart. On ANET, right here, breaking out. Still yellow though. Momentum not really. It's pretty high, but it's still not that great. So on the daily, so I'm kind of watch it for a bit. I like the setup though. The technical setup is pretty nice. Choppy stock. IWM, right off the VWAP. SPY right at the VWAP. Triple Q's below the VWAP and still moving down. Here was the open on the SPY right there, 523.90. And the gap fill is right down here. Still a good long ways to go in that. SPY floating around here at the VWAP, breaking down. See where it goes. Again, we're having it's green for the day. So remember that when you're trading it short, you're trading against the trend so far, but we are having a pretty good reversal here right now. IWM also below the VWAP. And triple Qs also. SPY right back up to the VWAP again. See if this VWAP break to the downside holds. Pretty good little short here in the SPY. Coming off the VWAP right here. Everything red. Got a good entry here right near, if you get in right near the VWAP. Decent entry on the SPY for a short. Again, remember we're trading against an uptrending day, but this is pretty weak here right now. And this is a SPY super system trade if you take it. It is even if you don't take it, but it's a SPY super system trade. A little bit of a bounce here in the SPY now. Right back up toward the VWAP. Q's doing about the same thing. Q's a little further away from the VWAP. And IWM is now bounced above it again. We'll see if the SPY bottom holds. Again, the Q still, SPY still heading down a little bit on the VWAP, but it's a decent pullback right here. Not something I could trade until it got below the VWAP. And SPY still drifting down. Again, this is SPY super system setup as it breaks from the VWAP. We don't know, on a day like this, you don't know if we're going to get a bounce or not, because it's green for the day. We're still up, a full 1% on the SPY. But it's definitely doing some selling right now, and the momentum is telling us that it's been selling off for a bit here. I did take some puts on the SPY as it broke down here below the VWAP. We'll see what happens. Not looking for any big huge moves on this thing, since it's fighting an up day. But I'm up some money on these things here. It's extending down pretty nicely. I am building up some profits in this position now. I'm not going to hang around in it very long. Notice it's putting in some tails here on the candlesticks. Trying to bounce back up toward the VWAP again now. Again, we're getting some wicks on tails on these things, so that's always got to be cautious if you're short when you start to get tails like this. Obviously, you get some buyers coming in. See what the VWAP does. AWM also bouncing. Triple Q is also bouncing. So I'm probably going to take this off here in a second. took my SPY puts off. I'm gonna get something to eat, so I thought I would go ahead and close it down on this nice little red candle. Again, we're getting some buyers coming in on these candlesticks, so it could continue on down. But anyway, I took 20 cents on it, and so I had a full size on that one, so that was good. So I'm out of that for a little profit, and I'm gonna get ready to get something to eat here in just a minute. Again, I'm out of my SPY puts off the SPY super system. So SPY super system, they two wins and one loss so far. So I'm up a little bit, not a lot. Netflix still coming in. The Netflix position, the put debit spread that I put on Friday, I paid for something for it. What did I pay for it? Netflix. $4.60. All right, and it's right now is trading at $6.47. So almost $2 up per contract on the Netflix. Again, I'm out of the Q puts. All right, let's check for questions here. So far, so good. We've got a bunch of questions here. Okay. Let's see, Anthony. Morgan Stanley analyst reiterated underweight in Palantir. He was wrong in August and will probably be wrong again. I don't, and I've said this multiple times here. I don't pay any attention to what analysts say about any stock. I'll listen to the company. When the company comes out with raising guidance, lowering guidance, if it's coming out of the corporate, then that definitely is worth listening to. But analysts, I don't pay any attention to them. They don't know any more than you do about these things. You know, they're going in looking at fundamentals, etc. We're just looking at the charts, and we're looking at technicals on these things. So, again, I appreciate the info. You picked up another contract today for Palantir. Yeah, I don't like the chart on it right now. It needs to bounce, but it's sitting right in the 8 and the 15. So it's definitely on support, and it did try to do a PBO on Friday. Today it's red, but again, I'm going to give it some time. Ali, FVRR, nice breakout. Yeah, nice breakout on FVRR. Don't know if it'll continue up or not, but it's definitely moving up nicely today. Shy, the SPY also rejected off the 12.16, 12.26 algo. Look at that on this daily chart. Yeah, it did. That algo also touches the top of the 1218 candle. Yep, it's went right to it and failed right there on that algo line. Nice look on that one. This is the line that Shine's talking about right here on the SPY. Connect the top of this candle to the top of this candle, it touches the top of this candle, which is the Fed day, and comes right down through it. See, it went right through it and it's pulled back below it again. It's an algo line, and that's a sometimes pretty good resistance levels. This cube line is probably not valid anymore. But the Qs did similar to the SPY. Right there. It's still, notice its Q's still above it. So Q's are still more bullish than the SPY is. IWM right in this horizontal support, right? Resistance line. And then there's the Q's. Okay, Q's coming down below the VWAP now. Again, I took profits on my SPY Super System short position I took right here as it broke down below the VWAP. The VWAP does not change color, Gary. No, it's always pink. On here, it's always pink. The 15 changes color. The moving averages will change color, but the VWAP does not. It always stays as pink. We don't really care if the VWAP's going up or down particularly. I mean, it can be somewhat of a guide, but basically we just want to know whether the stock is trading above or below that price. Isaac, what do I think about the IONQ calls? I like IONQ. It's up today about 5%. This thing can move, and it is a nice setup on IONQ. I like it. It did a PBO last week, bounced on Friday, continuing up today. Definitely a nice setup on IONQ. This is a nice long right here. Again, earnings 226. We've been in an uptrend for a good long time on IONQ. I mean, this is a big run, right? From about $6 from October up to about 50 right now. But this still looks good to me. I like it. It's still a good long setup. You get your 8 right here as support, and the 15 is support right here. I like it. The options can go up quite a bit. They're probably relatively expensive. I'm not sure. Terry, did I wait for on SPY? Did I wait for a break of the VWAP? I didn't take it here. I took it here. I took it when it went up here and then fell off of it again. I waited for the bounce back up to it. I didn't take it on the first candle through. I don't dare today do that with the market being green. But I'm out already. I mean, I took my profits. It's still pretty red here though. But you're still getting a lot of tails on these candlesticks. So you know there's buyers somewhere in here. I don't really want to have to mess with it again. IONQ, I do like this though, and I'm considering taking some calls in IONQ. Buy still coming in. I'm looking to buy some IONQ calls, so I like the chart on IONQ. Here it is today, just pulling back a little bit here. Gets back to the VWAP. I'm like getting some of these calls. Look at the daily. Daily chart looks very nice, and bouncing up here pretty nicely. I like IONQ. I'm going to take some calls in it. I'll get a posting in it here in just a minute. Oops. Taking the February 7th, and these will be the $47 calls. Right now they're going for, the spread keeps going up and down, up and down. About 850. About 850. Okay, so IONQ 16. We're taking these for the February 7th, 47 calls for $8.50. Okay. Go ahead and put that on an alert. Okay, so we're in IONQ. Again, I took my spike puts off right here. Get in around here. I'll get out here. So, 20 cents. There's no big deal. Triple Qs. It's just kind of meandering around here right now. IWM doing the same. All right, I'm going to get ready to get some lunch. Went a little longer than normal without eating today. I'm going to get something now. Just check YouTube, see if we have any questions on this on the YouTube feed. Nope. All right, I'm going to have to close down the YouTube feed here, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm getting ready to get some lunch. So again, it's been running for about an hour or so. What was the trigger to enter IONQ now? The trigger in well, this is the trigger is, I wouldn't call it a trigger. I'm looking at the technicals on this thing, and it's typically been moving up along the 8, pulls back, and comes down, breaks above the 8, and starts moving back up again. And it's been just riding the 8 pullback last Thursday, bounced on Friday, through the 8 and the 15, and a continuation today. To me, it's a continuation of a breakout here on the IONQ. So I'm looking at the daily chart on this, not necessarily the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart, I could have waited for a pullback all the way to the VWAP back down here, but it's bouncing off the 8, which is also a good support level. On entering like this, I'm not that critical as far as whether I get in here or I get in here. On a long term, it's not going to make that much difference. So that was my criteria for getting into this IONQ, and it's had a really great move. It's very bullish. This is all-time high in IONQ, and so stocks that are at all-time highs tend to keep going. A lot of people like to think that that's a sign that they're going to reverse, but that's absolutely wrong. They typically tend to keep going. All right, so that was it. TGO. All right, everybody, I'm going to take some lunch. So let me go ahead and shut down the YouTube feed. Thanks very much, YouTube folks, for being here. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day.